Problem number 1. Check the solution to the example problem by replacing n in the original equation with -2 and evaluating both sides. What true statement do you get? So wherever we see an n, we're going to use the number -2. So 4 times -2 equals 1/2. 2 times -2 minus 12. So first, we're going to solve, we can go ahead and solve 4 times -2 and get -8. And then I can solve my parentheses. 2 times -2 is -4. -4 plus 12. My apologies, should be -4 minus 12. -4 minus 12 is -16. And then half of -16 is -8. My true statement is -8 equals -8. Number 2, suppose that you want to eliminate the fraction in the example equation. What would your first step be? Is -2 still the solution when you start by eliminating the fraction first? Explain. So in order to get rid of the fraction, you have to multiply the entire equation by the denominator. So we're going to take our denominator 2 and multiply everything. 4n equals 1/2 2n minus 12. Multiply all parts of the equation by the denominator. When you do that, you get the answer 8n equals 4n minus 12. We can then combine our like terms. So I'm going to subtract 4n from both sides. Eight minus 4 gives us 4n equals -12. Guys, I apologize. I made a mistake earlier. I'm going to start number 2 over again just so I can explain it a little better without going back. So, starting fresh, like I said, to get rid of the denominator, we multiply the equation by by the denominator. So 4 times n equals 1/2 2n minus 12. So what I did wrong was when we distribute it to both sides of the equation. So we should get 8n equals 2n minus 12. It gets rid of the fraction and leaves our parentheses 2n minus 12. From here we can combine our like terms and subtract 2n from both sides. 8n minus 2n gives us 6n equals -12. And our last step is to divide both sides by 6. With our final answer, again, being n equals -2. Problem number 3. Trey solved the equation 1/4 times 8x plus 16 equals 4x as shown at the right. Describe the error that he made, then solve the problem. So if we look at the beginning, he distributed his 1/4 to the 8 and got 2, but he did not distribute it to both numbers in the parentheses. 1/4 of 16 should be 4. So the new equation should read 2x plus 4 equals 4x. He didn't distribute the 4 to both numbers in the parentheses. Problem number 4. Describe the first step you would use to solve the equation 20 equals 7y plus 2 minus y. Is that the only possible first step? So my first step would be combine my like terms 7y and minus y. Since we are not crossing the equal sign, we don't have to change anything, and so it's just 7y minus 1y. So 7 minus 1 would get us 6, and my answer would be 20 equals 6y plus 2. But that is not the only first step. You could combine your other like terms, 20 and 2. In order to move it over to the opposite side of the equal sign, you would subtract 2 from both sides, and so you would get 18 equals 7y minus y. Either method will end up in the same answer. Problem number 5. Solve the equation in 2 different ways. 6p equals 0.6 times 5p plus 15. So we are going to first solve it by distributing our 0.6 to both numbers in the parentheses. So we have 6p equals 0.6 times 5 gives us 3. So 3p. And then 0.6 times 15 gives us 9. From here, we're going to combine our like terms. So I'm going to subtract 3p from both sides. Those cancel out. And I am left with 3p equals 9. And my last step is to divide by 3. My final answer is p equals 3. Another method to solving this problem would be to get rid of the decimal. Since that decimal is 6/10, I could multiply the entire equation by 10. So if I did that, I would get 60p equals 5p plus 15. From here, I would subtract 5p from both sides. I apologize again, guys. I still made my mistake. When we get rid of our denominator, we are still left with our numerator. So we have 6 times 5p plus 15. So my first step is going to be to distribute to both of those. I would get 60p equals 30p plus 90. Now, from here, we can subtract 30p from both sides. 60 minus 30 would give us 30. 30p equals 90. And then my last step is to divide by 30. And again, you would get the same answer, p equals 3. Problem number 6. It says the 2 rectangles shown below have the same perimeter. Write and solve an equation to find the value of x, then find the measure of the length and width of rectangle B. All measurements are in inches. So I'm going to start by filling in the rest of rectangle A. From here, I'm going to set and rectangle B. So x and then 4x minus 3. So from here, I'm going to set up my equation. Perimeter means the outside edges. So I'm going to add up all of my outside edges. So 7 plus 7 plus 5 plus 5 gives me 24. And my n and rectangle B gives me 4x and 4x, and then x and x, which gives me 10x. And then negative 3 and negative 3 give me negative 6. So my equation is going to be 10x minus 6 equals 24, because it told me the perimeters are the same. Now, to solve for x, we're going to combine our like terms. So I'm going to add 6 to both sides. And so I get 10x equals 30. And the last step is to divide. And you end up with x equals 3. So the length and the width. The width is our x value, so again that's just 3. My length is 4 times 3, which is 12. 12 minus 3, which is 9.